Hey there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again. And I'm a little late on this, but I think I've only seen Megamind once on a plane. I know this movie is really popular, though. I know there's like a shit ton of memes that have come out of it. And I do like Metro Man. Metro Man's probably like my favorite character in the movie. I'm like, I couldn't give a shit for anybody else in this movie. Yeah, it was a villain, Lex Luthor falling in love with Lois Lane. Except he's got a bigger head and blue skin. That was it. I mean, I've seen that done better in Superman. Also, no, wait. In the comics, I've seen that done better in the comics, and a lot more effectively. It was creepy. It was always creepy. I never got how she falls in love with the villain, but whatever. Hey, you do you. But yeah, the guy's played by Will Ferrell, so you know he's charming and he's funny and everything. And I think the girl's played by Tina Fey. They said something about Ben Stiller being in this movie. Who the hell is Ben Stiller playing? Is he playing Megamind? I don't know. But again, I know I probably lost a lot of you just by saying I've only seen Megamind once, but again, I never really got that into it, for some reason. I mean, it's an okay movie, but you know, it was like that other movie, Monsters vs. Aliens. Like, I think I saw it the same way, honestly, on a plane. It was weird. So, and you know, I was kind of in that teenage phase when it came out. So, you know, I was being a little rebellious, and I guess that's how I was being rebellious, by watching Disney movies. But I would skip out on DreamWorks movies. I don't know. I guess that's how my brain was working. But maybe he can change my mind again, like Flushed Away. It was again Flushed Away too. I didn't really watch that movie either. I was like, what do you want from me? So again, maybe he might change my mind. But let's just get into the video, shall we? And remember, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And remember, check out my Patreon for full-length reactions of all my videos. I'm going to be putting more videos up on there very shortly. I got to finish off Batman Caped Crusader. Again, I know I've been saying I got to do The Boys, but, you know, I'm really trying to get in on it. Well, with that being said, let's do it, y'all.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remember it so you don't have to. When you hear DreamWorks animation, usually what comes to mind is Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train Your Dragon, Babies First, oh my god, shut up, me. Surprisingly, more often than not,
Megamind.
Don't take this the wrong way, but why?
I know, I can't understand it either.
Make no mistake, I thought the film was alright.
You see? Do you see why I keep saying that him and I are of one mind? Like, there's just more evidence to doing that. We disagree on a lot, trust me. But more often than not, we agree on a lot of the same things. It's kind of crazy.
I thought it was pretty clever and had a funny idea. But people really seem to connect with
I know, right?
Even more attention was brought to it, though, when apparently the Batman and Robin of DreamWorks sequels was released this year.
Batman and Robin.
Not a lot of people looking back to re-examine why the original worked so well, and yeah, I guess I wanted to revisit it for similar reasons, too. As someone who saw this film as totally fine, but not a game changer in any way.
Yeah, no.
I've been interested in why so many people adore it as much as they do. I guess since it came out in 2010, you could argue many people have grown up with it, so it
20.
is nostalgia. But I don't think it's just that. I knew a lot of fully grown adults who felt like this movie was really speaking to them, and I found that kind of fascinating.
Really?
So, seeing how I literally haven't seen it since it came out, I want to give this film another go and see why so many people swear by it and examine whether or not I'm missing something.
Then how did you do a DreamWorks video on it? How did you do a thing? Don't you watch the movie over again, or you just go off the top of your head? If that's the way you do it, that's pretty cool. But come on.
So let's go back in time to when Twilight and Jersey Shore were all the rage. I already see why people valued this.
Yeah,
take a look at Megamind. The film opens with a monologue from our hero/villain named Megamind, played by Will Ferrell, who seems to be falling to his doom.
Here's my day so far. I'm falling to my death. How did it all come to this, you ask?
How did it come to? I bet you're wondering how it got here intro. Alright, to be fair, this is over a decade old and a family film, so I think you can give that trope a little leeway.
I had a fairly standard childhood. I was 8 days old and still living with my parents.
A flashback shows his world literally crumbling, as even when he's the only survivor of an alien race, he's still less important than someone else. Another far better looking alien race sends their last surviving child too, and he takes what would have been his life of luxury as Megamind literally lands in jail.
No! Oh!
Reality says sure, why not, and allows the prisoners to raise Megamind in the ways of evil.
A knack for building objects of mayhem.
He sadly has no powers apart from extreme intellect, and when he goes to school, he sees his rival as all sorts of bells and whistles.
What?
Most of them very showy in 3D. Yes, this film tries hard to remind us that this was in fact made for 3D.
Really?
Good receives all the praise. Evil is sent to quiet time in the corner.
After spending years as an outcast
What
and
the-
jokes that probably wouldn't play too well today, but
Jesus!
kind of funny. Megamind is
What?
some jokes that probably wouldn't play too well today, but I still think are kind of funny. Megamind decides to embrace his villainhood. They grew up years later still fighting, as his nemesis becomes a superhero adopting the name Metro Man, voiced by Brad Pitt.
Let's go.
Notice this is in the days when DreamWorks Animation was still trying to figure out their style. Funny thing is, they were pretty good at making unappealing characters look appealing. Like Megamind or his monster sidekick played by David Cross, simply named Minion. Yes, there was another anime movie sidekick that year named Minion, and sadly that's not the one objectifying merchandise. But whenever they need to make characters look cute or attractive, that's
Yeah.
entirely when they start to... Like local damsel in distress reporter Roxanne Ritchie, played by Tina Fey.
Is there some kind of nerdy supervillain website where you get Tesla coils and blinky dials?
She's supposed to be a knockout, but she just looks like the boss baby with hair.
Right?
Creepy huge eyes.
Yeah, I never thought she was that pretty either. I'm like, it's just Tina Fey. It just looks like Tina Fey, but with bigger eyes. She's not that pretty. I'm sorry, but she's not like, go save a freaking city by killing a giant Godzilla monster pretty. Come on.
And flushed cheeks. And weird small lips. They all look like Margaret Keane mannequins.
Ah!
I guess Metro Man looks okay, even though he's really close to looking like the president from Monsters.
Yeah.
Like some of these early DreamWorks characters gross me out. He looks like a California raisin.
Don't panic, Roxy. I'm on my way.
I'm not panicking.
Megamind lures Metro Man to a false location, planning to zap him with a death ray. They trade supposedly good quips back and forth.
Supposedly.
I think your warranty is about to expire.
Maybe I got an extended warranty.
Warranties are invalid.
Girls, you're both pretty. Can I go home now?
I think I'm gonna say that whenever an internet battle over anything happens.
That's funny.
But to Megamind's surprise, Metro Man admits his secret weakness is copper, so he's unable to escape and he's blown up with a death ray.
His secret weakness is copper.
I hate how every bit of advertising gave away he's not really dead. Even the IMDb shows he's fine.
Oh,
Otherwise, this would be one of my favorite dark fakeouts.
it would have been hilarious.
With the dreary, normal things. Let's just have fun with this. Come on.
With no one to stop him, Megamind takes over the city, doing pretty much whatever he wants, but almost instantly feels empty.
We have it all. Then why do I feel so melancholy?
And for a DreamWorks animated superhero movie, this is kind of a different angle.
It is.
I love The Incredibles,
Yeah.
I think it's a better film, but it does go more the traditional route. This is definitely a different take.
I think this was the best part of the movie. I think this was like the first time I'd ever been faced, and it's ironic that I've never done, really gravitated towards this movie, because this is honestly a good lesson, and it's been done better in other media, but, it really is a great lesson, like, what happens when the super villain wins?
At least in terms of how family superhero movies go.
I've made a horrible mistake. I meant to destroy you, but I didn't think it would really work.
Megamind goes to the Metro Man Museum to figure out why he feels nothing, and incidentally bumps into Roxanne. Oh, and look, Ben Stiller's voice for some reason.
Oh,
I'll
that's
just be another man.
Ben Stiller.
Okay.
Oh, and his kids voice some students too? Would he have a hand in making it or something? Oh, he did!
Oh,
Guillermo del Toro?
what?
J.K. Simmons. Okay, I'm gonna stop randomly naming people because they just show up here. He disguises himself as Bernard to talk to Roxanne and figures out what's missing is another hero for him to fight. So he uses some of Metro Man's ability to clone his superpowers.
From this, we'll extract the source of Metro Man's awesome power.
Okay, I have no idea if this is intentional, but that looks like a cameraman reflection. If that is, then that's automatically the funniest joke in the movie.
Why?
It's Roxanne. I just found his secret hideout.
Roxanne discovers his hideout, so Megamind continues the facade of being Bernard. Some of this can be pretty entertaining.
His strength's too much. Oh, I work out. Well, it's really paying off.
You know, for a reporter, she doesn't question enough things.
I know. Well,
The gun with the super.
so is Lois.
It's her cameraman.
She's supposed to be
Hal,
Lois.
played by Jonah Hill.
I was just about to make my frontal assault to rescue you, but like 50 ninjas tried to attack me.
That's just how Jonah Hill defended the movie Don't Look Up as well. As his powers grow, Megamind pretends to be his father from another planet, and I never thought you'd have to teach a comedian how to do a Marlon Brando impression, but I think Farrell needs that course.
Yeah.
This is a dream come true. You've been blessed with unfathomable power.
It's-
I'm like your space dad.
He sounds like the brain has that pierced tongue guy from Rat Race. It doesn't work, but not really in a funny way. Has to train him as a hero and even calls him Titan. But he's so self-absorbed and rotten he can't get through to his good side.
To Titan! Tomorrow, you will fight Megamind, and the city will know your name.
To the only city that looks more like a middle finger than Chicago does.
You know, I gotta say, that's actually, again, if this was done with malicious intent, like, that would actually be a really good plan. A supervillain raising a hero just because he was bored, like, that sounds like something out of a messed up video game, right?
To make Roxanne happy, Megamind cleans up a lot of the damage he did to the city, though she's completely unaware that she's been speaking to him the whole time. And this disturbs Minion.
The bad guy doesn't get the girl.
Maybe I don't want to be the bad guy anymore.
That a DreamWorks plot that sounds similar to another
I-
film this
you
year.
were
That's
there,
not
yeah.
funny. Who are you? This causes them to have a falling out, leading to both a pathetically sad but also really funny goodbye.
Good luck on your date.
I will.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I know.
How most supervillains say "I love you" to one another. Roxanne figures out what Megamind is up to in the most nonsensical way.
What the hell?
This world that Rise of Skywalker Dagger thing could totally work. Nah, still couldn't. And Hal
Yeah,
reveals
no.
himself as Titan.
Whoops! Savior, you are lucky to have such a great hero here.
The contrast to how beautifully elegant the Superman Lois flight is compared to the chaotic clumsiness of Titan and Roxanne just makes the scene all the more hilarious.
I have powers.
You don't understand.
This
Just
isn't
take a deep
right.
breath and listen
You're
to me for a
supposed to
moment.
be with me.
I'll admit at first I found Hal to be a pretty boring villain. But when you sadly do meet a few horny, brainless creeps in your life,
Yes!
you realize the idea of
Yeah.
them having superpowers is kind of terrifying.
Yeah! Just imagine, like, y'all never watched Smallville, did you? That was like everything that, like, every episode of the damn thing. Like, the second episode of the series was about a guy who got super bug powers. Spider-Man, but no, but he was like adapting. It was more like The Fly, and the first thing he did was try to impress Lana because he got all worked up and everything. And he's like, "Oh, I'm all handsome now. You got to go out with me." That's terrifying, guys.
Titan. It's Titan, not Hal.
Man, this is the biggest a-hole Jonah Hill's ever played since Jonah Hill.
And what?
Sorry, I'm late.
This causes her to be late to her date. Yeah, how did she get down from that building? And Megamind is accidentally outed.
What about everything you just said?
Why are you so evil?
Again, I originally found this third act breakup and liar reveal plot pretty lame the first time.
It's-
But I will admit the expression on his face really says a
I
lot
know.
without having to say a lot.
I know.
Do you really think that I would ever be with you?
The way he said that,
Yeah.
and the way it was animated,
Acting.
clearly shows this is all he's ever known.
Wow.
It's not even that he wanted to be this way, it's just that's all he's ever been taught. And he learned it so well that when he tried something else, he was both too good and too bad at it. I And you can't really blame Roxanne either. That's all she's ever known him as, too. A deceiver.
No.
I wish it was just a little less rom-com-y, but it does still work.
Bring out the Black Mamba.
In one of these events, he plans his classic good versus evil fight with Titan, but Titan never shows. In fact, he's actually doing more evil than good. However, Megamind gets his fight when he reveals he's the one dating Roxanne. This battle is also pretty hilarious.
I kind of do want to watch this movie again.
I am way too big a sucker for giant, massive, loud machines somehow sneaking around. When Megamind finds out Titan is so evil he wants to kill him as opposed to take him to jail,
he's too weak.
He tries Copper to defeat him, but for some reason it doesn't work.
doesn't-
So he goes to Roxanne for help.
What do you want?
An intro course to meme generator. I might have something with that previous image.
Yeah.
She tries to help him, knowing Titan will destroy the city if she doesn't. So they go to Metro Man's old home where, like I said, every commercial ruined the twist of Metro Man is still alive.
But we saw your skeleton. You were dead.
Are you a ghost?
Easily the funniest scene in the film, Metro Man
Yes.
talks about how he decided he was tired of the same old game and he ran away from his responsibilities. All in a literal millisecond.
Just had to go clear my head. I tried to get my mind off how I was feeling, but I just felt stuck.
I love this because it's almost like saying if Superman is so fast he could fly around the Earth in time travel, why couldn't he be so fast he could do something like this?
Right?
There's like a million conflicts that could have been resolved with this. And it doesn't even take like a few minutes in his time. It takes like a week.
But what about what I wanted to do?
What?
You said this hero thing had to be a lifetime gig.
You did
I
not.
can be whatever I want to be.
I mean, if this is how he promoted reading, clearly he wasn't a fast reader, so that gives you an idea.
I'm sorry, if he's going that fast, he's more powerful than Superman. Or at least faster than Superman. I don't think even the Flash can be that fast, man.
He decides to do what most people who abandon their true talents do, go into music.
I have eyes that can see right through lead.
You
Oh,
can't
Brad.
sing that bad unless the guy who directed these is involved.
Well,
He says he's put in his time and he's done, so Megamind decides he's done as well and returns to prison.
Thousands have already fled the city in a mass exodus. Remaining citizens are warned to stay indoors until further notice.
So this is where I get a little split on the movie.
really.
Roxanne goes to reason with Titan, but he kidnaps her and uses her as bait to lure out Megamind. He of course goes to rescue her and the villain fights the hero, but get this, the roles are reversed. And yeah, nothing much funny is done with it. It's just a pretty generic action scene with pretty generic dialogue.
This is the last time you make a fool out of me!
I made you a hero. You did the fool thing all by yourself.
I
Well,
gotta say it's weird that only 2 major roles are switched up when there's 4 major characters you could use. Obviously Titan has to be the villain, but maybe you could have Roxanne as the hero and Megamind as the captive and Metro Man as the person who can't solve the problem. Or maybe Megamind as the hero, Metro Man as the captive, and Roxanne as the person who can't
That would
solve
be
the
cool.
problem. Whatever combo you go with, everyone can discover something different about themselves from a different point of view. I guess you could argue Metro Man's kind of the useless bystander, kind of like what Hal was before, but then Roxanne's still in the same role. It just feels like there's more opportunities that could have been taken advantage of here. Because this is so boring to me. Yet they're acting like something like this has never been done in a comedy.
He's the real hero.
Thing about bad guys, they always lose.
You won.
Well, I finally had a reason to win.
We're the good guys now.
I guess we are.
Like, remember when Enchanted brought up...
Yeah!
that
That's a
ultimate
good
gets saved
point.
The day, even though it's been done in a lot of movies by that point, even in Disney films. It kind of has that vibe. Granted, I still like that movie fine, and I still like this one too. So I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it. The focus is still on Megamind and the point's still gotten across. He doesn't have to be what he thinks fate is determined for him. I guess you could argue it is kind of interesting that not every major character has a major part. You could argue it's teaching you that some people who leave really will just leave and never come back. Some folks can overcome, but others are just gonna let you down.
Wow.
There's some valuable stuff here for a family film. I just wish if it wasn't doing anything that new, it'd at least do something really funny. And this...
You're living a fantasy. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Tooth Fairy, and there is no Queen of England.
What?
Okay, is sometimes funny. And this, of course, brings us to where we started off, as he totally dies, y'all. No, he figures a way out and takes away the powers from Titan. He, of course, is the new hero in town, and even ends up getting together with Roxanne.
I really want.
Back, you savages!
Sorry.
And 2010's anime movie, so of course, there's a dance party at the
Oh,
I'm bad.
it's a good
You
song.
probably killed millions going psycho on that city, but it's all in good fun. We have fun here.
Who's bad?
And that was Megamind. It's about as good as I remember it. Yeah, there was no major development watching it again that completely changed my mind, but it's still perfectly fine. Maybe part of why so many enjoy it is that a lot of younger people grew up with this film and were introduced to some of these ideas here. Bad turning good, fate is what you make it, people surprising you in both good and bad ways. Also, if you're an adult that really gravitated towards this film, maybe you're drawn to the fact that it's a character that's had a very checkered past, hasn't been taught that great, but still accomplishes a lot of good. I guess those are ideas that a lot of adults can connect to. It's also an anime family movie that doesn't talk down too much to its viewers. There's a lot of moments of characters just having conversations and not always needing to throw in a sight gag or one-liner, which might be unique for younger people watching anime comedies. I guess if I was a kid, I would respect the fact that they're trying to have more adult conversations and talk about adult ideas.
Too old.
And seeing it in a major anime movie, maybe that would have connected with me. If I grew up with it, maybe I'd see more of the impact it had, but as is, I still see it as a good flick. Decent message, smart jokes, inventive animation. It's not a personal favorite, but its hard work and effort makes it just super enough.
Yeah, that's about right.
I'm the nostalgia critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
So, I think I figured out why I personally didn't gravitate towards this movie, and it reminded me. So, there was a video I watched not too long ago. They had put Metro Man up against Homelander, and they had put how strong Metro Man was, and I was shocked. I was fascinated, and it got me thinking again. Why didn't Metro Man fight whatever the new superhero? Like it seemed like the movie was setting all that up, and it never happens. Yeah, Megamind takes him. Like Megamind still could have taken him out, but man, come on, we wanted a fight. So, but he just sits there on the side, and at least I wanted a fight. I don't know. That may seem like a very shallow thing. Maybe you can even argue that it wouldn't fit in the movie. But I wanted a fight between Metro Man and this guy. So, he could have had the ending that the Justice League had. I stand for truth, justice, and the American way. I don't care what anybody says. That is how Superman has always been supposed to act. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the way he acted in the Snyder Cut too. But the Justice one, honestly, that just seems more like what Superman would do. Let me know if you agree or not. But yeah, this movie never really grabbed me, and again, it didn't really change my mind. But I will say there are a lot of scenes. There are a couple of scenes that are very well acted and very well done, and Will Ferrell is actually very impressive in this movie. So I can see why people remember it and everything. And yeah, it's still a good movie, but it's not something I would watch like on the reg. But anyway, let me know what you think of the movie and what do you think he's gonna do next. And remember, please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And I'll see you on the next episode. And remember, sign up for my Patreon and to get unedited reactions to all my latest videos. See y'all later.